Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Fonua, also known as Queen Kong, and I am of Samoan and Tonga descent.
My name is Fiu Tuipoloa Ioane Efeso Sydney Whanana. That's a bit of a mouthful. So growing up in Australia, I'm the artistic director and one of the co-founders of Briefs Factory International. We're developing a new production called BRED. The tagline for BRED is an artistic interrogation by 4 creative savages and 1 token white ally.
BRED is a contemporary circus kind of work. It's kind of genre defining, to be honest. I think the audiences are used to seeing this kind of tongue-in-bleak style of performance, which is more comedic and commercial, whereas this work seems to be really hard-hitting.
BRED is a tongue-in-cheek, but it's also a tongue-in-bleak look at our history and our relations as humans, and considering our different experiences and our different makeup as individuals, particularly talking about various diverse figures. We are in Tanzania as part of Adelaide Fringe Festival. We are using an unconventional method in developing work. We've had predominantly self-funded project to devise this work. This work, I've been writing it since we all had to look at ourselves in the mirror during isolation. I started August last year. I started really nutting out what this show is and beginning the process. We've had 4 days on the floor with each other, and then it was just like, let's just throw it on stage.
In this development that we're doing, we're really opening up a conversation with our audience, looking at themes like race as well as how we live together as a diverse space. But I think the biggest thing that I'm interested in, especially about this work, is how we can use this platform to create a more ethical and equal practice, as artists, and then using art as a means to access, everyone.
Something that I think I'm struggling with, toying with, milling over is me as a director and as a creative, this idea of funding and independence and self-sufficiency. I'm struggling with the concept of how black I am with my work, how much I need to shake a spear in order for it to be contemporary Pacific, how much I'm meant to show how ethnic I am when I'm making work, and whether or not the fact that I am a New Zealand-born Samoan Australian, is that enough for me to be, for the work to be First Nations contemporary work, or does it need to be browner? How brown do I need to be in order for me to fit into particular categories? How brown does it need to be? How brown does it need to be? Like, are you? Yeah, because my colour too, by the way, is so glamorous. Shoe leather. That's how we got to this point of devising this work, because if we're commenting, if we're reflecting, if we're interrogating and unpacking, then something that we are always going to trump somebody else on is our own experience. So I've selected 5 artists, including myself, to come together and unpack, and just as the experts on our own experience, to bare our souls on stage and to evoke conversation.
I think this style of work is honest, and that's the biggest part of this process that's been enjoyable, but also really confronting, just how honest it is, because some of the answers that we're receiving from the audience are really hard to hear, like if it is an ignorant answer to something that's sensitive, it's how we navigate the conversation and continue to hold space with someone, as opposed to getting into feelings and feeling defensive. You know what I mean? Like when especially around race and these themes, they're very, very sensitive, because the themes are so heavy and big, and this is a development of sorts. We are getting a lot of, it's a mixed bag. Some people are for it, some people are reserved. There's a lot to process. So what they get to see in the hour that they're with us, or what they get to experience while they're with us and contribute to the space, is something that I'm sure they're going to be unpacking for the next week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, maybe even the year, because these kinds of conversations aren't traditionally had out in the open. You know what I mean? It's taking us to a space of allowing people to be racist, God forbid, or say things that might be inappropriate. People have been confronted, I think, is the biggest way to think. Confronted, challenged, but also really positive about where this work will go once we're through this process of development.
Is it okay? Is it okay that the person of colour is driving the situation, and what if the white person wipes it off? Is it just another white person taking control of the situation, even though there needs to be an ally? if somebody walked in the room right now and just saw this out of context, are they allowed to get pissed off? Are we allowed to be pissed off now? Does it make it easier for the person of colour who's just done this to a white person? I think we need to kind of understand as humans that we are stunning, complicated, cognitive, and really complex individuals. And I think when we say someone is just racist, or someone is just gay, or someone is just coloured, or someone is a circus performer or a contemporary dancer or a director, if they're just one of those things, I think we are missing a whole part of the recipe that makes them the stunning human that's got their feet on this planet.
I guess it's honesty. That's the biggest part about contemporary art, as well as, you know, this hybrid contemporary circus space of trying to create a safe space for all, where we can just tell the truth, you know, hear the truth, and hopefully find a space that we can exist together.